Hi. Of
All right, hi. Thanks for talking to me. Enjoyed
course.
the
Thanks for
series. So, to start off, tell me, where'd the idea come from? How did it all come to be?
um I don't know where it came from, but it started with this idea of adults playing 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. And the idea was that their dad made them grow up too fast. And then it's snowballed from there into me realizing why I had that idea and that the show was actually about those adults. And I kept coming back to like, why did I have this idea of them playing themselves as first and third graders? And I tried to say yes and listen to why.
All right, fair enough. That's what I wanted to ask you about. I was going to say about that because at first it was a little surprising, and then it's really effective. I think it really kind of, gets that point across. Is it like what's it like though? I guess is it strange kind of playing that age though, because that's got to be different.
It was weirdly it was difficult at times, but it was never strange. It just always felt weirdly needed. Like it felt like it's what I wanted, it's what Hal wanted, and didn't really understand why, but you knew it was right. Like I needed to be in that classroom and I needed to feel what it was like to want to desperately be friends with this 7-year-old who can't carry on a conversation with me. It shines a light on a lot of things that are kind of hard to articulate, um, and can only be felt and understood by way of actually living it.
That's fair. Now you wrote, directed, and starred in this, and I know you've done that before, but how is it doing all three of those at once? Because it seems like obviously a lot. So how do you kind of juggle that?
I always just think of it as the same role. Like I don't think of it as multiple hats. I think of it as just one kind of heavy hat. Like I'm not going in and out of being an actor. Even as a director, when I'm directing scenes that I'm not in, I feel like an actor. Like I'm trying to be in the scene with them, even though I'm not on camera. And so, um, I think I always say like I try to treat everyone like a director, and everyone kind of at some point is like, that's not true. But it's so I think what it is like, yes, I know that I have all of the answers and that I'm the leader here, but everyone, I'm not thinking of when I'm in a scene, I don't call cut and then say, all right, let me think in director mode because I was just in actor mode. I'm always have it all in my head at once. I'm also editing as I'm directing, and it just kind of that's how my brain works.
From an acting standpoint, when you're doing something you're not writing, is that more difficult because you have to kind of do less of your own thing, I guess, to some extent, because you get to control everything. I would think you'd have to redo it less often, I guess, when it's your own thing. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it takes just as many takes, even if it's yourself.
It is very difficult when I don't trust the director, but I'm actually acting in something right now where I'm having the best time of my life because I love the director and I trust him so much. And I it's just I feel so free. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just listening to him after each take and trying to do what he wants, and it's very freeing.
All right. What made you decide to do this as a television series as opposed to like a longer movie?
Um, it just always was a TV show. I think TV as a medium is incredible because you get to really dive in and sit with characters. I think the best TV shows are my favorite TV shows are character studies that I can that are made in with while keeping in mind that I can stop and start and I can plow through a bunch of episodes, but I can take a week off and then go back in. And I love movies because you're in a dark room and you're with 50 people and you're introduced to characters in the same sitting that you're experiencing their climax and resolution. And I love that about movies, but TV is so different. Um it's meant to be controlled by the viewer in a lot of ways. It's like here I'm giving you this stuff and here's where I think each cutoff is. But you can choose to binge 4 episodes and then stop for a month, or you can choose to binge it all in one day and take breaks wherever you want. But it's really up to the viewer to know when they're ready. And I think that in that way, TV shows should, to me, I don't know why TV shows should be way heavier than movies. Because that's the whole thing that you get to be heavier because you're not forcing them to like sit down and watch all of it at once. Um, but for some reason, I feel like TV, I don't know, I think TV will continue to evolve, but I am always confused when like TV shows, of course, sitcoms are sitcoms, but I'm talking about like the like prestigious TV. It feels
Yeah.
like they always miss this opportunity of like each episode feels like a new thing is happening instead of building on what we already know and feel about these people. And that's what I'm trying to do with Hal Harper is like build upon what we already know and feel.
Yeah, that's really interesting because you're right. A lot of shows don't, but I think too sometimes people for certain shows don't have the attention span anymore like they used to because shows are so the way people binge them, they're a little different now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I can't sit and watch like 4 episodes that are like, I think too often I'm watching a show and it feels like, I mean, it honestly, it's true actually that like every episode in TV shows are like they're written by different people.
Yeah,
And
that makes
you
a
have
difference too.
and you have some shows where it's like very clear that there's this central idea and there's like they're all working on this with the same intention of like we're trying to learn this episode and it works in this but so often I feel like I'm like, why did this episode, like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, it's like, now it's the carnival day. And it's like, but what does that have to do with anything that we've watched? And why am I watching this? But it's the way TV, I think, is like conditioned right now. And I think it'll evolve.
Yeah. Do you have anything planned like past this? I'm not sure if you had intended for another season or if it's just kind of like a one and done or what's your
I
idea with that?
I'm like always open to anything, but I feel like Helen Harper has a really important ending in season 1. But if someone was like, I'll pay you $1 million to write season 2," I wouldn't say no.
Well, hey, their lives could go on and find more problems or maybe get better. You don't know. I guess
Yeah.
it could go either way. So talk about the casting for this.
It's my favorite cast ever. Lily, uh, attached to play Harper like a year before we started shooting, and everyone else was like months before. Um, it was really important for me to find like the perfect Harper before knowing that I could make it. And Lily was the first person who I ever was able to like picture in the role. And I didn't know her that well, but I just had a feeling. And I watched her interviews and I watched her in Hustlers and I watched her in Chemical Hearts. And my partner was obsessed with her in Riverdale. And so I asked her manager if I could meet with her. And then I met with her and sent her the pilot. And then she like asked me to go on a trip with her. And that when she asked me to go on a trip with her, I feel like that's when I knew she was Harper for sure.
Hmm, sorry. Did it get a lot of times really I mean I know obviously it's acting it's different, but this is like really emotional at times. Did it get hard to kind of get through some of that really emotional stuff for you guys, especially for the two of you?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't easy. Um, but but it felt good too. It felt important, and I'm glad we did it.
What did you find the most difficult overall, though, of doing this?
The most difficult part of making the show was knowing what to do with the pilot. The pilot, I think I watch things, and I know this, I watch things differently than m most people, I think, and I immediately um care about who I'm watching, and um and I think a lot of people operate with this like uh I with this thing of like they don't care right away. And I had to with the pilot understand that
Uh-huh.
like I'm no one's going to be invested right away. I just have to kind of throw you into the world and and engage you enough to keep watching, and then you'll the care will come after that. Because I think some people are like I hate when people are like, "Why should I care?" I'm like, you shouldn't watch TV or movies if you're like, "Why do I care?" It's like go do
Yeah,
something.
find what you care about.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah,
agree.
exactly. Like go do your hobbies then.
Yeah.
But so I tried to skirt past that by being like engaging enough and mysterious enough to keep you watching until that point of like, oh, I really do care about these people because I've spent enough time with them. Because I that's what I really believe is like if if you have a heart, um, you'll care about what someone you'll care about human beings. Like there's something really different in like I think people talk about movies and TV in the wrong way sometimes. Like I think like I've just heard someone last night being like, "Oh my gosh, I watched this movie," and I was like, "Why am I watching this? Why am?" And I was like, and what they were saying was like the movie was extremely not made for anyone but himself. Like that is incredibly frustrating for me to watch, for everyone to watch. When you're watching something where it's just like not that it's like a vanity project, but that it's like, okay, you make movies and TV for an audience. And like that's all I'm doing ever. And that's all you should ever be doing. You're not making something that's just like so you can watch it at night. It's like that's like I wouldn't have made anything ever if I wasn't just making it for as wide of an audience as possible. So, but it's not, but when people are like, I'm like, why am I watching this? Why am I watching this? Why am I? It's like the better statement of that, I think, is, um, why did this person just make something for themselves? Because it's surely not for an audience. And I think people can pick up on that
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah, yeah. You can tell that you care about it, and it's very, very engaging, and like I said, really emotional. So, but thank you. We're out of time, but thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate it, and
thank
yeah,
you.
I enjoyed it. So thank you. Have a
Thank you.
good
Nice to
rest of
meet
your
you.
afternoon. Bye bye.